Hello guys, how are you? How is your morning? Okay, there we go. So how are you this morning? I am well. I was just thinking about book clubs. I love reading, but I have been doing horribly. If that's a word, I haven't been doing so well reading. I don't know what it is, to be honest. I have the time, I have the conducive environment, I have all it takes for me to just sit down, relax, and read. But I've been making very, very, very slow progress when it comes to that. And then it got me thinking. I was like, what else could motivate me to really read as much as I know I want to? Then I thought of book clubs. Yeah, and so I want to kind of find out what you all think about, book clubs. So currently the book I'm reading is Long Walk to Freedom. I don't have it here with me. That's a shame. Yeah, but I think I've shown you guys before. It's a really, really good book, very informative. And yeah, I enjoy reading it. It pulls me in. Whenever I read it, I feel like I am in Nelson Mandela's world. I can relate with his life then, and I like such kind of books. Yeah, I love reading a book or a piece that will totally draw me in, and I'll be in the author's world. If that makes sense, yeah. And so I'm thinking of joining, like a book club, which is something that will keep me motivated. Like currently now I have these two books. So I have three books that I recently bought. And to be honest, I should be done reading these books. I don't know. I don't know what is wrong with me. Yeah, so this one is Franklin and Winston. Guys, thank you for voting. As you come in, please like the live, vote, and please subscribe if you have not. Yeah. So this book, which I'm planning to start reading after this live, actually now I want to start reading like maybe two books at a time. Maybe that will motivate me and stuff like that. Yeah, so this is Franklin and Winston. Yeah. Guys, if you're new here, please subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. I'm just gonna read uh, this, the comments that people, how do they call it? Yeah, but I'm just gonna read this. It's people's, opinions about the book, what they think of the book. Yeah. I'm a menace. Well, hello, hi, how are you? Hi, VR_edits. Come in on, guys. Come on in as you like the live and subscribe. Thank you. Please like. All right, so this is at one. So this book is about Franklin and Winston, and it's an intimate portrait of an epic friendship. You see, there they are, and it's written by John Machan. Yeah. Why not? I had soup for lunch. That's good. Which soup did you have? I love soups. All right. So continue liking, and subscribing. This is at once an important, insightful, and highly entertaining portrait of two men at the peak of their powers who, through their genius, common will, and uncommon friendship, saved the world. John Meacham's Franklin and Winston takes place in the front ranks of all that has been written about these two great men. Oh, chicken noodle soup. That is nice. I love chicken noodle soup. Yeah. As two of history's most towering leaders, Franklin Roosevelt and Winston Churchill shared a close friendship which was instrumental in defeating tyranny and piloting the free world to victory in World War II. I had noodles for lunch. Oh, so Tommy and why not had the same, almost the same kind of what is it called? Meal. Name a book for an edit. Fidan, I don't understand. What do you mean for an edit? Um, in Franklin and Winston, John Meacham shows the deep, intense, this is what I'm reading, guys, and sometimes complicated nature of a friendship that flourish amid cataclysmic global events and occasionally competing national interests. Theirs was a kind of love story with an emotional Churchill courting an elusive Roosevelt. Oh, wow. Nice. An edit is like a cool video. Ah, okay, okay. I don't know which book I can name. Oh, you're beautiful. Thank you, Tommy. Where are you from, Sania? I'm from Kenya. Yeah, I'm from Kenya. Guys, please subscribe and like the video, the live, sorry. Thank you. Through the use of new sources, including unpublished letters, ooh, interesting, from Roosevelt's great secret love, Lucy Rutherford, and interviews with those who spent time in the company of Churchill and FDR, Meacham sheds fresh light on the characters of both men and how their alliance helped mold the world of the 20th and 21st centuries. Brimming with potent insights and revelations, Franklin and Winston is the definitive account of the most remarkable friendship of the modern age. Wow. Fidan, do the boys comic edit. Please, do you have a child? No, I do not, Tommy. There are many students in my university from Kenya. Oh, that is so cool. Do they teach you Swahili, Sania? Watching you from Guyana. Oh, hi, Sharon. Hey. Yeah, so this is the book, Franklin and Winston. If you're interested in learning history, this would be a good pick for you. A handsomely Platonician study that weaves together the lives, characters, and fates of Franklin Roosevelt and Winston Churchill. Mitchum manages to align the two giants in a way that makes the stories seem fresh. The two men seem so close together, casting interesting lights upon each other. Written with grace and conviction. The New York Times Book Review. All right, so this are just some of the things that people had to say about this book. If you like it, you can grab it, and read it. Guys, please continue liking the live and subscribing. Thank you so much. I'm from India. Oh, wow. Hi, I'm watching you from Nigeria. How is Nigeria? All right, so I'm going to start reading this and then maybe I'll share. I really need to motivate myself to read. Yeah, I need to read more because there's really no point for me to buy the book and not even open the book. It doesn't make sense. Oh, much love to all of you guys. Okay, the other book that I have is this. I just love the cover and I love the smell of, books. So this is also by the same author, Oops. It's by the same author. Guys, continue liking and subscribing. Thank you so much. I have few likes. Please like the live. So it's the same author. I think you can see the name. Yeah, John Meacham. That's the author, and also there it's the same author. All right. Okay. So this is Thomas Jefferson, The Arts of Power. All right, so let's see what people had to say about this. By people, I mean like individuals and like publications and stuff like that. Yeah. All right, subscribe as I read what they had to say about this book. Hello, do you remember my name? Yes, Dazzling Dreams, I do. I remember. Nigeria is fine. That's good. That's good to know. Okay, so a big grand, so that's how the book looks like. I love the cover, you know. All right. A big, grand, absorbing exploration of not just Jefferson and his role in history, but also Jefferson, the man, humanized as never before. Okay. Oh, it's me, Ishida. Hey, Ishida. Yeah, I remember the account name. Sorry, I forgot your name as Ishida. June boy, hi, hi. Guys, like, subscribe. Okay. In this magnificent biography, Pulitzer Prize winning author John Mitchum brings vividly to life an extraordinary man and his remarkable times, giving us Thomas Jefferson, the man, the politician, and the president, a founder whose understanding of power and of human nature enabled him to move men and marshal ideas, to learn from his mistakes and to prevail. Jefferson was passionate about many things: women, his family, science, architecture, gardening, Monticello, Paris, and more. He strove, despite fierce opposition, to realize his vision: the creation, survival, and success of popular government in America. Drawing on archives in the United States, England, and France, as well as unpublished transcripts of Jefferson presidential papers, Mitchum shows us the personal Jefferson, a man of appetite, sensuality, and passion. He also presents Jefferson as the most successful political leader of the early republic and perhaps in all American history. A leader who found the means to endure and to win. His story resonates today, not least because he led his nation through ferocious partisanship amid economic change and external threats. Jefferson also embodies an eternal drama, the struggle of the leadership of a nation to achieve greatness in difficult in a difficult and confounding world. Wow. As a teenager, I loved reading books. That's nice. That's nice. What is your name on live? On live? This live? It comes up as double tap. And the channel, is the book interesting? It seems interesting. I'm gonna start reading it and then maybe, I can let you know about it. Today I just want to read a chapter of like maybe a chapter or just part of a chapter of each book, with you guys, and I'll create my own book club. It'll just be me. Okay, so the Christian Science Monitor had this to say. Which country are you? Which country am I from? Or which country am I in right now? If you're asking which country I'm from Kenya, Tommy. Do you want to know where I am or which country I'm from? Let me know. African proverb. Interesting. Matthew, interesting. Let me see any African proverb that I know, but I'll only know it like in my language. So I'll tell you one in Swahili. So mtaka chamvurguni sharti ainame. It means if you want something that is underneath, it could be underneath anything, then you have to bend to actually get that thing. So it means you have to put in effort to get whatever you want in life. Yeah. Okay. So the Christian Science Monitor had this to say: Mitchum captures who Jefferson was, not just as a statesman, but as a man. By the end of the book, the reader is likely to feel as if he is losing a dear friend. I'll say that once more so that I'm not like breaking up. Mitchum captures who Jefferson was, not just as a statesman, but as a man. By the end of the book, the reader is likely to feel as if he is losing a dear friend. Oh, and what is your real name? My name is Angela. Anymore. Let me think of more, Matthew. Let me think of more. Let me finish reading this first. I have to think. Yeah. Fascinating, a true triumph. In addition to being a brilliant biography, this book is a guide to the use of power. So this is by Walter Isaacson. So it's named one of the best books of the year by Washington Post, Entertainment Weekly, the Seattle Times, St. Louis Post Dispatch, and Bookpage. So it's a New York Times notable book, you know. If you want to know all about, not really all about, but a lot about Jefferson, so this is a book you might want to pick up from the shelf and read. Yeah. Okay. So I am just gonna read like and there's still a lot more that people said about this. Yeah. So but I'll just read like maybe the prologue, you know. And then you guys can let me know. Yes, yes, this is life. Yes, for sure. You know? Yeah. Okay. All right. So, as you guys like this video and subscribe, I'm gonna read these parts. I'll just read a little bit. Or maybe I should read the prologue. I think that would make more sense. What do you guys think? Let me know. Yeah, let me read the prologue. So it's called The World's Best Hope, you know. Okay, so this is Washington, D.C., winter of 1801. If you guys can see. All right. Okay, so I'll read maybe just a couple of pages, you know, and then you guys let me know what you think. Just to give you an insight, you know, into Thomas Jefferson's life. All right. So he woke at first light, lean and loose-limbed. Thomas Jefferson tossed back the sheets in his room. So do you know who Thomas Jefferson was? Anyone who knows who Thomas Jefferson was? Let me know before I continue reading. Anyone wants to make a guess? No one? No one? No one wants? No one wants to guess? Hello, Golu Pandits. No one wants to guess who Thomas Jefferson was? Okay. No one wants president. Ah, okay, yeah. He was the... Okay, good. So he was the third U.S. president. Okay. Right now, I think Joe Biden is it 46th president? Yeah, I think so. So that just shows you, you know, how far back this was. Yeah. Oh, he is the... Okay. All right. So he worked at... Let me see. I want to know who is... He's either 46th or the 47th? Wait. Let me see. This is interesting. So that just to give us an idea, you know. Okay, so he is the... So Joe Biden is the 46th president. Thomas Jefferson was the third president. So that shows you just, you know, that Thomas Jefferson was a president way back. Guys, give me a minute. 1 second. Okay, I'm back. All right, so now we have an idea. Okay, all right, so let's read. This is what I'm reading, guys. Today I'm part of your book club. You're my fellow book club members. So this is the prologue for this book. Thomas Jefferson, for those who are joining right now. Okay, so as you continue liking and subscribing, I will read. And feel free to ask any questions or leave any comments in the chat section. All right, so the world's best hope, Washington, D.C., winter 1801. He woke at first light, lean and loose-limbed. Thomas Jefferson tossed back the sheets in his rooms at Conrad and McMahon's boarding house on Capitol Hill, swung his long legs out of bed, and plunged his feet into a basin of cold water, a lifelong habit he believed good for his health. At Monticello, his plantation in the southwest mountains near the Blue Ridge of Virginia, the metal bucket brought to Jefferson every morning wore a groove on the floor next to the alcove where he slept. 6'2.5", Jefferson was nearly 58 years old in the Washington winter of 1800 to 1801. His sandy hair, reddish in his youth, was graying. His freckled skin, always susceptible to the sun, was wrinkling a bit. His eyes were penetrating but elusive, alternately described as blue, hazel, or brown. He had great teeth. It was early February 1801. The capital, with its muddy avenues and scattered buildings, was in chaos and had been for weeks. The future of the presidency was uncertain, the stability of the Constitution in question, and secluded inside Conrad and McMahon's on New Jersey Avenue, a new establishment with stables for 60 horses, just 200 paces away from the unfinished Capitol building. Jefferson was in a quiet agony. He soaked his feet and gathered his thoughts. After a vicious election in which he had challenged the incumbent president, John Adams, it turned out that while Jefferson had defeated Adams in the popular vote, the tall Virginian had received the same number of electoral votes for president as the dashing, charismatic, and unpredictable Aaron Burr of New York, who had been running as Jefferson's vice president. Under the rules in effect in 1800, there was no way to distinguish between a vote for president and one for vice president. What was supposed to have been a peaceful transfer of power from one rival to another, from Adams to Jefferson, had instead produced a constitutional crisis. Anxious and unhappy, Jefferson was, he wrote to his eldest daughter, "Worn down here with pursuits in which I take no delight, surrounded by enemies and spies catching and perverting every word which falls from my lips or flows from my pen, and inventing where facts fail them." His fate was in the hands of other men, the last place he wanted to be. He hated the waiting, the whispers, the not knowing, but there was nothing he could do. And so Thomas Jefferson waited. The election, Jefferson said, was the theme of all conversation. The electoral tie between Jefferson and Burr, with Adams not so far behind, threw the contest to the House of Representatives, and no one knew what would happen. It was suddenly a whole new election taking place in the House, where each of the 16 state delegations had one vote to cast. Whoever won 9 of those votes would become president. The crisis is momentous, the Washington Federalist newspaper declared in the second week of February. Could Burr, who admitted that he thought of politics as fun and honor and profit be made president by mischievous Federalists, taking the election from Jefferson, a fellow Republican? Or could Jefferson force elect an interim president, denying Jefferson and his Republicans ultimate power? In the claustrophobic atmosphere of Washington, anything seemed possible, and Jefferson, who liked to cultivate the air of a philosopher, who was above the merely political, found himself in a struggle to secure his own election, and in his mind, rescue the nation from the allegedly monarchical tendencies of the Federalist Party. As a young man in 1776, he had hazarded all for the American experiment in liberty. Now, a quarter of a century later, Jefferson believed that the United States as he knew it and loved it might not long endure. During the 1800 campaign, the patriot physician Benjamin Rush told Jefferson that he had heard a member of Congress lament our separation from Great Britain and express his sincere wishes that we were again dependent on her. Such thoughts terrified Jefferson, who confessed that he felt bound to protect the principles of 76 he had articulated in the Declaration of Independence. If he, the choice of the majority of the electorate, lost the presidency, then what had Americans been fighting for all these years? So much was at stake. An old revolutionary ally from Massachusetts, Elbridge Gerry, said Jefferson's foes were acting from a desire to promote division among the people, which they have excited and nourished as the germ of a civil war. There had been a rumor that John Marshall, the Secretary of State who had just been named Chief Justice, might be appointed president, blocking Jefferson from the office. If the Union could be broken, that would do it, said Virginia Governor James Monroe, who was told that 22,000 men in Pennsylvania were prepared to take up arms in the event of extremities. Disorder which Jefferson hated threatened harmony which he loved. As you continue subscribing, I will proceed to continue reading. In the end, after a snowstorm struck Washington, Jefferson narrowly prevailed on the 36th ballot in the House to become the third president of the United States. And so began the age of Jefferson, a political achievement without parallel in American life. George Washington, John Adams, and Alexander Hamilton are sometimes depicted as wiser, more practical men than the philosophical master of Monticello. Judged by the raw standard of the winning and keeping of power, however, Thomas Jefferson was the most successful political figure of the first half century of the American Republic. For 36 of the 40 years between 1800 and 1840, either Jefferson or a self-described adherent of his served as president of the United States. James Madison, James Monroe, Andrew Jackson, and Martin Van Buren. John Quincy Adams, a one-term president, was the single exception. This unofficial and little-noted Jeffersonian dynasty is unmatched in American history. He had a defining vision, a compelling goal, the survival and success of popular government in America. Jefferson believed the will of an educated, enlightened majority should prevail. His opponents had less faith in the people, worrying that the broad American public might be unequal to self-government. Jefferson thought Jefferson thought that that same public was the salvation of liberty, the soul of the nation, and the hope of the republic. In pursuit of his ends, Jefferson sought, acquired, and wielded power, which is the bending of the world to one's will, the remaking of reality in one's own image. Our greatest leaders are neither dreamers nor dictators. They are like Jefferson, those who articulate national aspirations, yet master the mechanics of influence and know when to depart from dogma. Jefferson had a remarkable capacity to marshal ideas and to move men, to balance the inspirational and the pragmatic. To realize his vision, he compromised and improvised. The willingness to do what he needed to do in a given moment makes him an elusive historical figure. Yet in the real world, in real time, when he was charged with the safety of the country, his creative flexibility made him a transformative leader. America has always been torn between the ideal and the real, between noble goals and the inevitable compromises. So was Jefferson. In his head and in his heart, as in the nation itself, the perfect word with the good, the intellectual with the visceral. In him, as in America, the conflict was and is a war without end. Jefferson's story resonates not least because he embodies an eternal drama, the struggle of the leadership of the nation to achieve greatness in a difficult and confounding world. More than any of the other early presidents, more than Washington, more than Adams, Jefferson believed in the possibilities of humanity. He dreamed big, but understood that dreams become reality only when their champions are strong enough and willing enough to bend history to their purposes. Broadly put, philosophers think, politicians maneuver. Jefferson's genius was that he was both and could do both, often simultaneously. Such is the art of power. Guys, get this book, read this book. It doesn't matter where you're from. Just by reading part of the prologue, I love this book and I'll continue reading it. Thank you for being part of my book club this morning, giving me the motivation to read. And I'll catch you guys later on during the day. So once you've subscribed, don't forget to click on the notification bell so you'll be notified when I'm live, and then we'll meet later on during the day. And yeah, have a great day, a great evening, wherever you're watching me from. And I'll see you guys later. So the question is, would you join a book club? 61% yes, 39% no, and we have a total of 28 votes. Thank you guys, and I'll see you guys later. And remember, always be a kind human. Bye.